don't let this man's simple clothing or the humble material of his terracotta portrait fool you. In his time, the man you see depicted here in modest clay was one of the wealthiest and most magnificent leaders of Florence, Italy. He knew how to present himself. Called Il Magnifico, or the Magnificent, Lorenzo was a member of the powerful Medici family that dominated the culture and politics of Florence during the 15th and 16th centuries. As a political leader and patron of the arts, Lorenzo helped shape the Florentine state and the future of art in Florence. So, who was Lorenzo the Magnificent? Born in 1449, Lorenzo was the grandson of the famous banker and statesman Cosimo de' Medici, who had helped secure his family's preeminent position in Florence through his savvy manipulation of the Florentine state. In this period, Italy was not a unified country, but instead was organized into largely independent city-states with different forms of government. Though Florence was a republic led by elected officials, its institutions were dominated by wealthy merchants who competed among themselves, using their money and influence to shape the political organization of the state. None were as successful as the Medici. When Lorenzo became head of the family after the death of his father in 1469, he inherited his family's vast fortunes, both in business and in politics. He was intelligent, shrewd, and ruthless when necessary to further his family's interests. The grimly set mouth, firm jaw, and heavy brow you see in this early 16th century portrait remind us of Lorenzo's formidable personality. In fact, this portrait is perhaps based on an earlier version modeled in wax that was created to celebrate Lorenzo's survival of an attack on his life in 1478, an attack that killed his younger brother Giuliano from political rivals. The would-be assassination, known as the Pazzi conspiracy after the rival family who sought to kill the Medici brothers, was commemorated soon after in a medal showing the attack along with portraits of each brother in low relief on either side. Though Lorenzo, like his grandfather, took care to preserve the outward appearance of being a private citizen of a republic, in truth, he was the city's de facto ruler, using his great wealth to pull the strings of Republican politics. His simple garment and the distinctively Florentine headdress that he wears are a far cry from the elaborate brocades and costly finery of the princely rulers of other states. Even the very material of the portrait bust, terracotta or clay, is itself humble compared to works made in costly marble or bronze. Where Lorenzo did not hesitate to perform as a prince was in his patronage of literature, scholarship, music, and visual art. He was himself a poet and scholar, and, like a prince, he fostered a community of cultured creators and intellectuals, including the painter Sandro Botticelli, the philosopher Marsilio Ficino, and the son of a minor aristocrat who would become perhaps the most celebrated artist in history, Michelangelo Buonarroti. Cultured, sharply intelligent, and politically shrewd, Lorenzo the Magnificent was a man of many talents. For many, his death in 1492 was the end of an era.